Throwing middle, caught inside the 5. Jameer Gibbs to the end zone. Touchdown, Detroit Lions. 14 yards on the strike. Goff to Gibbs. You can't cover that man one-on-one. You can't cover that man one-on-one.
Just can't do it.
Nice job.
Jared takes the snap, back looking, throwing middle, got Amon-Ra inside the 2, to the 1, to the end zone. Touchdown, Detroit Lions. Amon-Ra, St. Brown. Amon-Ra, St. Brown. Amon-Ra, St. Brown.
Nice job. Nice job.
Mariota's got it back. Pressure comes. He's hit. Slips out of it. Rolling to his right. Now he's going down. Brian Branch got him. Sack for the Lions. Brian Branch got him. Sack for the Lions. Snap taken by Mariota. Wants to throw it. Gonna get hit. Gonna get sacked. Take it down.
Brian out to rock on the Detroit Lions, man. My pride.
Rise and Grind Morning Show is the best podcast in the world. Meek Robinson.
Pressured by Hutchinson. He goes down again.
All right, welcome into the Rise and Grind Morning Show. It is a Victory Monday. Absolutely amazing. The Detroit Lions pulled off a stunner last night. And if your heart wasn't attached to that screen last night, man, I don't know if you're a Lions fan, because mine was ticking out of my chest probably until 1 o'clock in the morning. Incredible game. Incredible ending. Jameer Gibbs, MVP. If he's not on the list, he better be on the list today. I have a feeling that Kyle Brandt's probably going to put him in the running this week for another scepter. Plenty of amazing runs by Jameer Gibbs last night. So big shout out to some of the mods last night in the chat talking about run the ball, run the ball, run the ball. And they ran the ball. All right, let's get into it today. Eric Rentamaki's with us this morning. And we're going to get right into the Detroit Lions news, rumors, and everything else for about a solid hour. And then we're out of here. Good morning, Eric, man. Glad to see you back home safe. How was the travels?
Late.
Yeah, late, yeah, for sure.
Yeah, we stopped and had victory steaks in Bay City, and that was like an hour and a half of a stop. And by the time we got home, I didn't get home from dropping Bob off in the Sioux until, I don't know, well after midnight. So long evening.
Well, your voice sounds like you went through a ringer, dude.
Dude, I screamed my butt off yesterday.
Yeah.
They can't say that we did not make any noise at Ford Field yesterday.
Hey, we got a couple of false starts last night.
Yep.
And we caused a couple of them.
Timeouts, and because the play clock was down to 0, so they had to take a timeout a couple times, and yeah, we affected that game. So
one of the biggest questions that I had last night, just kind of thinking about this a little bit after I got off, was, it's like 4 minutes or so into the fourth quarter. I remember putting a tweet or a post out or something. I don't know, maybe it was in the group chat, and I said, "So do you run 4-minute offense, or do you go kind of 2-minute offense, right? And you hurry up and try to push the ball and try to get another possession." Dan Campbell declined to call a timeout until it got pretty late, and then he was forced to use the timeout. And at that point, it was like, I don't know if we have enough time to do this. All we need is a field goal. It's going to be a long field goal if we can't push the ball. And Jake Bates, man, that dude, clutch. I think it was 59 yards was the final, which would be his longest field goal yet. That was 58 was his previous last year, I think week 4. Might have been against Seattle, if I'm not mistaken. So 59-yard field goal last night is what put this game into overtime. And I was a little worried about the play calling. I was a little worried about us not having enough time to do what we needed to do. And then it was the play calling at the very end. We went here to give you a quick recap of kind of what happened. It was 13 plays, 53 yards, 2 minutes and 26 seconds, ends in a field goal to tie it up at 27-27. And after the timeout, there was I don't think we had any timeouts left. We went no huddle. We went no huddle at 1:13 left. Jared Goff spiked the ball to stop the clock on 1st and 10 at the 47. So we still had, 12, 15 yards to go before you felt real comfortable, and we hit a 12-yard pass. Jared Goff, short middle pass to Jahmyr Gibbs, goes for 12 yards. That put us into field goal range, and then it was an incompletion. It was 1st and 5 at this point. And then we go minus 5-yard pass to Jahmyr Gibbs. That's the pass that I can't stand. Another incompletion on 3rd down, and then we get into 4th down, and it's like, what are we going to do? It's 4th and 10. We're at the 41. You got to boot it. And, man, did that ball just inch over those goalposts. It was on my side, and as I'm watching it go, I'm like, that looks short. I put my head down, and I just waited to either hear the cheers or the gasp. And I heard the cheers. I'm like, I can't believe he did it. I can't. I mean, I can, but I can't. But it looked like it was going to be short. Right off the kick. It was a low kick, another low trajectory kick, which I did not expect to see. Expected to see a little bit of a higher kick. No wind. You're inside a dome. You don't have to worry about kicking it low to avoid any wind. I don't know why he kicked it low, but it was definitely low. Hell of a kick, though, by Jake Bates to send us into overtime. So overtime happens. What's going through your head?
Well, I'm going to tell you about that Jake Bates kick where we were that kick's coming right at us on my end of the end zone. And everyone around me swore that a Giants player tipped it. And we watched the replays in the stadium. It sure looked like somebody tipped that ball.
I forget where are you at? I'm in 105, so I'm kind of right in the middle of that side. So you're in which section?
I'm in 136 in the end zone down by the tunnel.
Down by the tunnel. Yes. Okay.
Yeah, that end zone. And
so you saw the kick. You saw the kick perfectly.
Oh yeah, and we thought for sure. And man, have you seen the replays of that thing? That thing is a knuckleball. It goes to the right and then whoom, swings way back. It was like a curveball that a pitcher throws, man. That thing had some arc to it. From right to left, it swung a good 6-8 feet. Crazy curveball.
So I'm wondering, and we don't know this, maybe one of the insiders can ask the question to Jake Bates. Yeah. Did he intentionally put a draw on the ball to get it right of the hands, right, of the defensive line, to get it right of the defensive line to come back? Kickers can do stuff like that. It's just like hitting a golf ball, man. Whether you put some fade or whatever you want on the ball, you kickers can do the same thing. So it'd be interesting to know if he attempted it that way or if he just tried to kick it straight and it just went that way.
Yeah. Well, it looked like no kick I've ever seen. When it came off his foot, man, that looked weird. Low trajectory, and the ball was spinning super fast. It didn't look like a normal kick. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. It had a very weird sideways spinning around. It looked like somebody tipped it, and that's what we really thought, that somebody got a finger on it or something. And that's why, because he was kicking that same thing. I have videos of it in pregame of him kicking from farther than that and it going 3/4 or more the way through the uprights.
Yeah, he's getting higher loft on it.
Oh yeah, lots higher. And why in the game we're getting all these low knuckleballs, I don't know if that's an issue with him or what it is. I would love to know the answer though. That's a question I would love to ask him.
Who's Moon Martin Rolene? Arf, no clue who that is. Not a clue.
Well, we got some new people in chat today.
I don't know. Arf says, did you listen to Moon Martin Rolene? I have no clue who that is.
Nope, me neither.
All right, so let's do this. Let's get kicked off with the locker room celebration. I haven't watched it yet.
Oh, it's good.
I crashed out right after this, man. Right after this last night. Yeah. And yeah.
After you get off, I still had 2.5 hours to drive.
Well, you had your steak at a restaurant. I had some prime steaks that I made the other night and saved a couple. So I had a victory steak too last night, but I'm sure it wasn't as good as a nice fresh made steak, you know?
You had victory somewhere else on the way home. I need that kind of a victory one of these times.
All right, here we go.
Holy crap, guys. It's a heck of a win, man. Listen, you don't know exactly how the game's going to go, and you guys just kept swatting it back, man, buying your time, and we made the stop we needed to. Hutch, great job there at the end. It was unbelievable. Our offense when we needed it, Bates, all that. We'll get to this here in a minute, but I'm telling you, man, you don't know how to ride it. You don't know what's going to happen. You just find a way to win, okay? You find a way to win. The big thing this week is find a way to win, right? We got about 3 days off here. Not 3 days off, but 3 days to get ready for it. All right, and then we go 2-0. We go 2-0. All right, we just won one. 1 of 3 basically at home. That's a way to just hang in there, man, and find a way. All right, we got to clean some up, too, along the way while we get ready for Green Bay. All right, give me this. Here, game ball. All right, the first one here. I'm not even going to go through stats. Hutch, come on, man. That's a hell of a time. Big time, dude.
I appreciate you, fellas. This is next stretch, man. This is step 1. We gotta keep going. We got bigger goals than this, and we all know that. So go down. Appreciate it.
5, man. 5 punts, 200 yards, 40-yard average, 4 inside the 20. I'm pretty sure 3 of those were inside the 10, man. You talk. Ask the defense if they like that.
Everybody on the punt team, man. It takes everybody to play on punt and to do our job, so thank you guys.
This is going to go to a player, but this does involve everybody, man. It involves more than him, but my guy is electric, all right? 15 carries, 219 yards, 2 touchdowns, 11 catches, 45 yards, 1 tug. That's 264 total scrimmage yards. Jameer Gibbs!
Let's keep rolling. Love y'all.
All right, man, that's 1. Let's get ready, man. Get your bodies back ready to go this week. It's going to be mental, man. It's mental, and it's all about recovery. Proud of you guys. That's the way to hang in there and get this win. Break it down.
Hey, way to fight, fellas. Way to fight. Use this feeling for the next one. Use it. We know what this one's about. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Win!
Okay.
Kellogg's Frosted Flakes.
Hold on, we don't need any frosted
ingredients,
flakes.
plus vitamins and minerals. That's it.
There we go. Get out of there. Come on. Stop.
All right, hey, man.
Close.
Are you sure?
Yeah, I don't know. Okay, so a couple of thoughts here. What a lazy ass break by those guys. Like, I mean, they're just kind of, yeah, okay, 1, 2, 3, win. Come on, guys. Like, do you see what I was saying? What I was saying last night. What I was saying last night is like something is different.
Yeah.
And I know that they were exhausted after this game.
Exactly. It took everything out of them.
But you just won a game, one of the toughest games you've had in a very long time. And I'm going to speak to that because I think that Lions fans are we're all about the immediate gratification, seems like right now. Number 1. Number 2, I feel like we shouldn't be by winning by less than 10 or 14 points. It's kind of like the sentiment that I'm getting from Lions fans right now. Like, what do you mean we only won by a touchdown? What do you mean we only won by 3 points? What do you mean we had to take it into overtime? Oh my God, this team sucks because we had to only put up 34 and they scored 27. Guys, these are NFL teams. But anyway, back to what I was saying. I just feel like that was a little bit lazy. Normally, you would see them get up and they're excited and they're close-knit. I get it. They're exhausted, but we've seen them exhausted many times. That just looked lazy to me. All right, we'll park that. The other thing is what I was just talking about. I feel like Lions fans are disproportionately what's the word? I don't know. Greedy? Like, is greedy the right word, or is it
spoiled?
Spoiled is probably the better word. It's probably the better word. And I guess what I would say, well, there we go. Stop it. Just stop. Because we've been kicking teams' ass for a while now, you expect at some point they're going to catch up. You should expect that some other teams out there are pretty good. You should expect the team that, the Giants last night, this is a team that has nothing to play for. Nothing. They're playing for a job at this point. This is a job interview for the next 7 weeks. So, of course, they're not going to call a traditional game. Those are some of the games that I feel like are the most fun to watch. And if I'm the Lions, look, play like your job's on the line. Call a non-traditional game, and it's going to end up just like that. The difference is the Lions are going to be able to pull away, and they could pull away by a lot because you're not calling a traditional game. You get stuck into a rut. I feel like that's what Dan Campbell and this team are doing. They're calling a traditional game. And they didn't expect the Giants to come at them, left-handed. And they did. And it almost caught us. It's like a boxer that switches up his stance mid-fight and you don't know how to protect yourself anymore. And you just get jabbed to death. The Lions need to play like their jobs are on the line. But for Lions fans, man, your job is on the line too. This team is an extremely good football team. Yeah, we've had some close wins. We've had some really tough losses. But just because we were kicking everybody's ass for 2 straight years doesn't mean that we can't have a knockdown, drag them out kind of a fight like we had against the New York Giants. NFL football teams are loaded with athletes that can have this kind of a game at any point in time. But Eric, I say the Lions fans' jobs are on the line too, and I'm going to say that because last night, towards the, the middle of the fourth quarter, what started to happen?
Everybody started leaving.
Yep.
Now, it didn't empty out, but you could see these new bandwagon fans that have never been through what I call a heart attack game get up out of their seats and go to their vehicles. And you could feel the doors open. You could feel the cool air coming in. So I knew it wasn't just 5 or 10 people leaving. This was hundreds of people leaving the stadium. They thought we were cooked when the Giants got down to 1st and goal. You could just see the stadium emptying out. Did I think we were cooked? Yeah, I was starting to go into acceptance mode. And listen, people on social media started losing their minds and saying, we're done for the year. We're not going to win another game. We can't win against the Packers. If we lose today, we're done for the season. So friggin' sad. And here, I'll read a couple more for you here. I'll find some online. These people just, they completely lost their minds. Well, they've never been Lions fans like during the Matt Stafford era, when every time we won, it was a game like that, where we did not lead the whole game. We come back in the fourth quarter and we win by a point. And that's how it was for 30 years as a Lions fans. And these people forget, or they just don't know, because these people just started watching the Lions 2 years ago, and they're in the stadium with their North Face jacket on, and they don't even have a Lions jersey on. And, the only reason they're at the game is because they can afford to go. Where the Joe Schmo fans like us, the ones that actually cheer for the team and stay to the bitter end no matter what, I never leave the stadium until the clock hits 0. I don't leave my seats until the clock hits 0, because I've been to too many games where we're down by 14 with 2 minutes to go, and the Lions somehow pull it out or get really close. They used to just get really close a lot of times, give you a little bit of hope. But now it's not just the hopium. They actually won the game. They won a game they were supposed to win. Now they won by less than what everybody expected. They won by a lot less than I expected. But you know what? It's not our offense's fault. Everybody was getting mad at Jared Goff. Everybody's getting mad at our O-line. But we put up 34 points. That's fine with me. That's more than our season average, correct? The thing I was disappointed the most with yesterday was our defense. Our defense gave up 27 points. that to me, against the 2-9 team, that is the part that really sucked the most. Was our defense they had a bad day, but our offense pulled it out in the end, and our offense kept us in that game. Jahmyr Gibbs kept us in that game.
So let me pick apart something you just said, and I know you don't mean it in the way that you said it, but a lot of fans did not give any respect to the Giants. They felt like this was a team, to your point, was 2-9, 2-8.
Oh, I didn't. I didn't give them any respect.
Well, I get it, but here's the thing. And shout out to who was it? Kevin in the chat. I think just said the same exact thing that I was kind of talking a little bit about last week, but I didn't put it in his words. Let me find it again, because his words are better than what I said.
I just want to take away the fan cards of all these people that gave up on him before the game was over.
Yeah, K-Biz Bizarre says the Giants are probably 6 plays away from being 8-3. That is a fact. Yeah. That is a fact. The ball is just bouncing one way or the other for the Giants in a lot of these games. This is a team that has had to fight through some injuries, some coaching changes, and prior to the coaching changes, that was exactly what I saw in the Giants. Looking at the Giants' record, yeah, I get it. They're 2-8. Let me just take a quick peek at something. Giants record.
Yeah, I saw a statistic or a stat thing that they just can't finish. They've had the lead and double-digit leads in almost every game this year.
Yeah,
they lost.
It's crazy. Yeah. So if you go back and look at what they've done this year, or what they haven't been able to do, really it's close out some games. Cowboys, they lost by 3 points at the bitter end of that game. They only allowed the Chiefs to score 22, which you would think that's a pretty good feat. The Chargers, they won by 3 points. The Saints got the better of them that day. The Giants smoked the Eagles 34-17. We couldn't beat the Eagles. They smoked the Eagles. The Broncos, they only beat them by a point. I said all this last week. Yeah, and then in the second game with the Eagles,
the Giants were up 26-8.
What are you talking about?
The Giants were up 26-8 against the Broncos in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, so where I'm going with this is I said all this last week that when you look at their schedule and you look at the games that they won and they lost, there's a lot of games in here either they were leading that they lost, or there's games that they weren't leading in that they came back to win. The Packers only beat them by 7. We only beat them by 7. So I think that's a good measuring stick if you're looking across the NFC North to say, if the Packers barely beat them, what makes us any better than the Packers if the Packers supposedly had a better defense than us, right? We beat them by 7 the next week. We hung 34. The Packers only had 27. But both of those games kind of went the same way. But you go back and look at what they dealt with this year, and you look at the types of teams that they're playing, these are not slouch teams. I don't know how they ended up. How did the Giants end up with the Cowboys, the Chiefs, the Eagles, the Chargers, the Broncos, the 49ers, the Lions, the Packers, the Commanders? I mean, the Patriots coming up soon next week. That's a crazy schedule. And the Giants didn't win shit last year. But some of it is because they're annual games, but they have got a really tough schedule. So when I looked at this and I looked at it a little bit deeper, that's why I warned everybody last week, this is not an easy W. It would only be an easy W if our offensive line showed up. I did not expect our defense to go out there and lay an egg like they did, the Legion of whom was exposed. They were exposed last night. In some key situations. Now, I'm not going to have a whole lot of time to go through it all because we got about a half hour. I got to get to the cancer center and go get treatment today. What else did you want to go through this morning? Was there anything else other than you're around the league in 60? But was there anything else? I couldn't remember if there's anything else that you wanted to definitively get to today.
No, I didn't have anything on the sheet.
Okay.
But,
so let's kind of run through the box score a little bit. I did it last night. I didn't run through everything. PFF, I don't know if they're up yet, but I'm curious on a couple of players. I'm just curious what PFF had to say. Let me see if it's up.
Yeah, I did want to talk about Jared Goff just a little bit.
Go for it.
Yeah, so he is through what are we at now? 10 games, 11 games. He's thrown for 2,769 yards. He's 7th in the league right now. He's got 23 touchdowns through the air. That's tied for second. And 23 touchdowns. That's over 2 touchdowns a game right now. Just over 2 touchdowns a game. He's got 5 interceptions, and 2 of those shouldn't have been interceptions. They were tip passes from players that should have caught the ball, Amon-Ra, and listen, I think Goff is doing an amazing job behind an offensive line that is nowhere near what it was last year.
I think that's a very valid point too, Eric. When you think about what this team has been dealing with, and everyone's blaming Jared Goff.
Yeah,
he's not playing behind a good offensive line. Penei Sewell is outright getting beat in pass pro badly. And we didn't expect to see that day come, but it's come, and it's here.
At the game last night, how many plays after the play was Ratledge or Penei Sewell or Decker laying on the ground for a good 5 or 10 seconds after the play, just like, I got nothing left.
Yeah.
And you could tell that Penei's ankle was bothering him, and Decker's shoulder was bothering him, and I think that Ratledge has something wrong, like a knee or something is bothering him, because I saw him 2 or 3 plays in a row, like, give it everything he's got, and he was doing everything in his power just to be able to stand up and go back to the huddle. I was amazed that they didn't call, like a ref didn't blow the whistle for an injury timeout a couple times. He took so long to get up and go back to the huddle.
Well, that concerns you about the Packers this week, because
yes,
we emptied the tank. This is what I was afraid of, is that we were going to empty the tank before we go on this, 3 games in 11 days, 2 games in 4 days. I can't stand how the NFL continually screws the teams that play on Thanksgiving. The Lions should either play Thursday, and then either you go Thursday, Sunday, or Monday, or they should have played on Monday, and then, you get what I'm saying. There's no reason why. There's no reason why they should have ever to play 4 days or play in 4 days.
Their bye week should always be the week before Thanksgiving.
And that's kind of unfair, and they'll probably never do that. It's something I floated out there too. But I think that they can still change the schedule enough to give them a game that, like they did last year. Didn't they play like 3 Thursday games in a row?
Yeah.
Yeah, and that was during the Thanksgiving game too, I believe. We didn't have that weird stretch. We had a weird stretch at one point. Now, granted, we have home games. We're not traveling, so that was a help. That is beneficial. You save a day of travel and then a day off and all of that. So at least we're home. So that saves a day. So it's really like a game in 5 days, because we don't have that day of travel and then the next day off. So it will help a little bit. But man, these guys exhausted last night because that defensive line worked them out. That defensive line worked them up and down the river last night, and at times it was just god awful. PFF doesn't have anything up yet. I'm just really curious on some of the grades for some of these guys. I'm just, in some of the scores. But if we were to take a look at pressures last night in this game, let me go back to it here. Get back into NFL Pro.
I think this season, though, that Goff has done a very commendable job with the offensive line he's had to deal with. If you give this Jared Goff last year's offensive line with this defense, my God,
it's just marrying them together.
Yeah,
right, and that's it. And I think that the Lions are a little bit closer than they are further away. The offensive line is going to continue to be an issue. Let's talk about that, because you brought that up before the morning show kicked off. People talking about, well, Brad Holmes failed us. We should have got an offensive lineman at the trade deadline. I don't know if you guys understand this or not. And I'm saying that facetiously. The players that play for other teams are not available. Period. They're only available if that other team wants to come off of those players. There is nobody sitting on a couch right now that is better than what we have on the field. There is nobody sitting on a practice squad right now that is better than what we have on the field. The only players that could potentially be better than what we have are on a starting roster. How often have you ever seen a team get rid of starting players at the trade deadline? How often does that happen? Especially, left tackle, starting left guard, starting center. How often does that happen? Less than 0.5% probably? Hardly ever. Especially when you're talking about a fixture on your offensive line that should be there for years to come. You're not going to give up that player. And then if you give up that player, it's going to cost you a lot. Why would you do that? It's not the right answer. You just need to try to get through it. Now, backups, yeah, you can poach backups the rest of the year. So there's no reason to go out and trade. You can poach off of practice squads just like the Lions did last year for the defensive line. They might have to for the offensive line. But right now we have backups. Am I happy with them? No, I'm not. I don't think they're great. This, again, putting Skipper out there as eligible, stop that shit. It's over. It doesn't work.
Everybody cheering for it every single time.
It's pointless.
Stop.
It's so pointless. Boo them next time, because every time they do that, you're not tricking anybody.
He's just an extra blocker every time they do it.
You know, if they would have said that, Penei Sewell was eligible, then that's a different story. Then teams are probably gonna be like, oh, wait a second, he can actually catch the football. That would change things. But see, he's already on the line, so they're probably not going to do that. So those things that they're doing with protections, there's ways to fix it. How many players did we use last night? Is the question. How many players really contributed outside of blocking? Well, let's kind of wind back. Let's talk about pressure for a moment. The Lions, I kept hearing it from everybody around me. Man, Lions are not getting home last night. Lions not getting enough pressure last night. And I hate the word pressure because there's 18 different ways to calculate a pressure today. When 15, 20 years ago, there was like 2 or 3 ways to calculate a pressure. And that's kind of what I live by. I live by the quick pressure, the 2.5 seconds or less. That means you actually affected that quarterback. If you're not getting to that quarterback in under 2.5 seconds, it doesn't mean shit. Sorry. After the fact, when you're getting pressures at 3.25 seconds, 3 seconds, 3.5 seconds, because you're playing in a contained system, and then the pocket slowly collapses, slow, but it's 3 seconds, right? The pocket slowly kind of collapses around the quarterback, and you end up getting a pressure. Yeah, you're affecting the quarterback late, but you didn't do anything early. They had plenty of time to get rid of the football. Your secondary is what held the pressure. Right? Your defensive secondary is what prevented that quarterback from getting rid of the football. So all the credit should go to the secondary, not the defensive line. I don't care if you get 50 pressures in a game and every single one of them comes at 3.25 seconds or later. That is not exciting for me. That means nothing to me. What matters is you get there in 2.5 seconds or less. And newsflash, almost all of Aiden's pressures are over 2.75 seconds. The majority are around 3 seconds. They're not under 2.5 seconds. So he's not really affecting the quarterback until the very end of the play. Jameis Winston was pressured 19 times last night for a 50% quarterback pressure rate. So where maybe you don't see the pressure, the reason why you're not seeing the pressure is because maybe some of you, especially the people that I sit around, they're a little bit older, wiser football people that have been around for a long time in these seats. Long time. These are dedicated fans that have been in these seats for 20, 30, 40 years.
Mm-hmm.
They come from the breed that knows that 2.5 seconds is the ticket. So how many of our pressures came at over 3 seconds last night? I'll find out, but his time to throw...
All of them?
Yeah, his time to throw was 3.36 seconds, which tells you he had a lot of time to throw, which means our pressures came late.
I'm going to tell you, in the stands, every time Jameson went back, I was out loud counting. I'd go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And there were so many times I got to 5, 6, 7, 8, and they still had not tackled Jameis Winston.
I didn't see any plays that long, but
nuts. I got to 8 on one play.
He must have been a scramble.
Yeah. And you know, it was Al-Qadim Muhammad that missed that absolute stunning sack. And then on the play where Jameis got free and caught the touchdown, that was Derek Barnes that missed that tackle. Completely whiffed tackling Jameis Winston.
Yeah.
So I was kind of disappointed in both those defensive players on those 2 plays.
What are you going to do?
Yeah.
You know, you look at these numbers, and if you're in the game and you're watching the game, you know, it's different from watching it at the game than the TV. I think the TV, you see better angles of things from the game. You can see certain angles of things, but what I will tell you is in the game, you're thinking we're not getting home, we're not getting pressure, but they really are. It's just coming late. So after the fact, you're like, I didn't see that. Well, what you didn't see is you didn't see the quick pressure. That's what you didn't see.
No, not at all.
And it's few and far between that you really see that. Now, on the other side, Jared Goff, 2.69 seconds of time to throw. A full half a second, almost 3/4 of a second less than Jameis Winston. He was pressured only 12 times, though, with 3 sacks. So that tells me 2 things. We were trying to get the ball out quick, number 1. Smart. But not smart because we kept throwing that stupid little swing pass and it was going nowhere behind the line of scrimmage. And we did it, I don't know, at least 5-6 times last night for no gain, it seemed like. 3 sacks for Jared Goff, 1 for Jameis Winston. I mean, it's not that our defensive line is bad. It's also the style of defense that we run. It's the scheme. I mean, there's so many different things I can go into. I don't have time today. Yeah. But I will tell you that it wasn't enough. And quit pointing the finger at everybody but Aiden right now. He's a $181 million man. Every time he misses a tackle, that's $181 million. Every time he misses a sack, that's $181 million. Think of it that way. And then maybe your tune will change a little bit because we do have this stat sheet that does break down every tackle, every pressure, every sack based on how much money they make compared to all of the other players. It's a pretty compelling. It's a pretty compelling sheet. Tyrone Tracy last night, 20 attempts, 3.1 yards per carry. Love it. They were averaging over 5.5. Great job. Great job last night at bottling up Tyrone Tracy, who's been nothing. I mean, just the week before, didn't he have like 139 yards or something crazy? Or he had a big game. But on the flip side of that, Jahmyr Gibbs, 15 for 219, 14.6 yards. 2 touchdowns. Incredible night for him. He hit 7 runs last night of 15 plus miles per hour, two runs over 20 miles per hour. And Jahmyr Gibbs now owns the 2nd, the 3rd, and the 4th fastest GPS times this season. 2 of them came last night. 4 plays over 10 plus yards last night for Jahmyr Gibbs. So in total, if you consider an explosive for a player running the football over 10 yards, he had 13 explosives last night. 13 that's crazy. So you have to give a little bit of credit to what the offensive line did.
Yeah.
All right. The biggest downfall for me in this game, Eric, was Wan'Dale Robinson.
Yes.
59 yards last night. Can't happen. 14 targets, 9 receptions. 156 yards, excuse me. 17.3 yards per catch. Cannot happen. You cannot let somebody like that beat you. And then why I don't like Brad Holmes today would be only for one reason. If I were to say it's, Brad Holmes Monday, and if I got one reason why I don't like him, I love Brad Holmes. I think he does an excellent job. It's because of Theo Johnson, the guy that I wanted us to go get and pair next to Sam Laporta instead of paying somebody like Brock Wright. And I do like Brock. Don't get me wrong. I think he does an excellent job of what he's supposed to do. But imagine if we had Theo Johnson, Sam Laporta, and Brock Wright right now. We would have 3 untouchable, in all different styles of games, but untouchable tight ends right now. One that can block like crazy, and two that can be vertical threats all day long. That catch by Theo Johnson on the boundary last night was insane.
Yes.
Insane. What a catch. Everyone thought I was crazy for liking Theo. Well, you saw last night he put up over 77 yards on 3 catches. It's exactly why I wanted him in Detroit. I think my draft game's pretty good. If I could toot my own horn for just a minute. I think my draft game's pretty good. The guys that I put out there and do a lot of research on, and usually are pretty good football players. They get a couple of misses, here and there, just like everybody else. But this type of stuff, man, I wish that Brad Holmes would change up just a little bit. Never have I really wanted him to go in and just go out and attack the edge position or any certain position, but plucking the players when you have an opportunity to pluck them without moving a whole lot and getting rid of a bunch of picks. Theo would have been one of them. He would have been one of them. And he would have been really needed right now for the next 3, 4, 5, 6 weeks or the rest of the season, depending on what's going on with Sam Laporta. And missing Sam Laporta before the Thanksgiving Day game, that's not good. Like, we really need him. Anything else you want to touch on?
Yeah. So I would like to go back and look at our 5 bold takes from last week.
Yeah.
Now, we got a couple of things right, and I got a bunch of things wrong. But my first one, the Lions will revert back to smash mouth run game. The duo of Sonic and Knuckles together will have 200 rush yards. Well, Sonic did it all by himself. He didn't even need Knuckles in this game to get that. So got one right. And then JMO will score a TD for the 3rd game in a row. Got that one wrong. Now this one is kind of funny. I wrote Jack Fox will have a busy day as the placeholder, but not as the punter. And he ended up punting 5 times and having an amazing game, pinning them inside the 20 and inside the 10.
Was this on the 5? I mean, the dude was on fire last night.
Exactly. His punting game. So I did get the first sentence of that right. The Jack Fox will have a busy day. But the rest of it was wrong.
Hey, you just make it work for you any which way you need it to there, buddy.
Hey, I'm admitting I was wrong. Hey, and I was very wrong about a lot of stuff in this game. I wrote Aiden Hutchinson will have his breakout game of 2025. I said he'll have multiple sacks and at least 1 quick sack and a turnover and 8 pressures. Well, he got 6 pressures, but they all came in the 4th quarter and overtime, and he did get 1 sack. So I was way off on that one. And then I wrote Goff will break his record for the most rushing yards in a game with multiple design runs for Goff. Bonus pick, he scores a rushing touchdown. Now, to this point, I got it completely wrong. But with 11 minutes and 50 seconds left in the 2nd quarter, the Detroit Lions, I think were like 1st and goal or 2nd and goal from like the 4 or 5 yard line. Jared Goff gets pressure, but it's wide open up the middle. He could have ran and got a 1st down or touchdown or whatever. And he ends up throwing the ball out of the back of the end zone while he's in the pocket. And what happens? He gets an intentional grounding call because there was no Lion anywhere near where he threw that ball. But you know what happened on that play? I hate to pick on my favorite player, but because of that pressure up the middle, he did not see a completely wide open, all by himself, right in front of me. Right in front of me. I didn't even need to see this on TV. This was right in front of me. Jahmyr Gibbs standing 1 yard deep in the end zone by the pylon with his hands up, waiting for the ball.
So I've got 5.
Whoops.
I don't remember that play.
Yeah. So go back. It's 11 minutes and 50 seconds into the 2nd quarter.
11 minutes, 50 what?
And it's when Goff threw the intentional grounding. It was at 11 minutes and 50 seconds, right about there, into the 2nd quarter. Right. It was, 4 minutes into the 2nd quarter.
Oh, you know what? I don't see the Lions.
One of the fun things that happened yesterday also was all 3 of Gibbs' touchdowns were right in front of me in my corner of the end zone.
All right, give me that timeline again. When was it?
So 11 minutes and 50 seconds, right around there.
In the what quarter?
Second quarter. And
All right,
he throws an intentional grounding out of the back of the end zone.
All right, I'll look that up here in just a second.
Yeah,
I remember the intentional grounding. I don't remember seeing Jahmyr Gibbs, but again, I'll
leaks
defer
to the right, and he's wide open.
Yeah, I'll defer to him not being able to see.
Yes.
If you can't see, that's like saying that Brock Wright was wide open, right? No.
Well, this was 1,000 times more wide open than Brock Wright was. I'm talking no one within 15 yards of him.
All right, I got to play. Let me watch it real quick. So I had the 5 bold takes as well, and the only one that I really got right was my first one, I think, which I said that Jahmyr Gibbs was going to have. Jahmyr Gibbs was going to have at least 150 all-purpose yards, but it wasn't all going to be from the ground. And I mean, so that's kind of right. I mean, he blew past that. 219 yards on the night. I don't know. Do you have the other ones written down? Because I don't know where the hell they are.
Yeah, your other one, Amon-Ra St. Brown, posts 9 catches, becoming the focal point on third down conversions.
Oh, that's right. He had 9 catches last night.
He had more than 9. I think he had 10 catches, didn't he, for 149 yards?
Amon-Ra St. Brown?
Yeah. Or was it 9 catches? Let me look. I'll look real quick.
I think he had 9, but I don't know about that many yards.
Right here. Yeah. So receiving, Amon-Ra St. Brown, 9 catches for 149 yards.
Wow.
In the stadium, it did not feel like Amon-Ra was all over the place catching all these super long passes. It seemed like he only caught the 1 for the touchdown and 1 for a first down. And you look at the stat sheet at the end of the day, and it's like, wow, he really had a quiet, really good day.
He always does these little quiet games. Okay, so I'm going to give Jared Goff a pass on this. But number one, that's crazy. I got his catches exactly right in the focal point. I just have to go back and look at did he get targeted on the third downs the most? That would be the other half to that. But we got the catch. So I got 2 right, 2 out of 5. What was the other 3?
Your other 3 was Detroit's offensive line allows 0 sacks.
Yeah, that didn't happen.
Jared Goff throws 3 touchdowns and 0 turnovers.
That's close. 2 for
and
1.
Then Jameson Williams scores on a 50-yard bomb.
That was close too. That one got called back right off that penalty.
But he wouldn't have scored. But yeah, that would have been a 37-yard pass for JMO.
Yeah. So here I'm watching Jared Goff. I'll give you the play-by-play. So Jared Goff is going to take the ball, and within half a second, Brian Burns is on him. David Montgomery, not Jahmyr Gibbs. David Montgomery is running to the pylon. Yeah. Okay. Jared Goff is looking right at Brian Burns. I mean, he's literally smelling his breath.
Yeah.
Okay.
I know he didn't have time to look.
And Amon-Ra St. Brown comes in, and at least I think that's Amon-Ra, and gets to Brian Burns. Goff is able to spin away out of it, and once he spins, his eyes are no longer on David Montgomery. Jared Goff has Brian Burns draped on him. He's about to get sacked. David Montgomery's looking back. Jared Goff's head is down, right?
Don't you think Jared Goff could have ran right there?
No, because right when he shakes that sack, then 51, which I think is Abdul Carter, he's now on Jared Goff like instantly. He whiffs. Jared Goff throws the football, and they call it intentional grounding. Now, here's my question. So I'm looking at the pocket. Okay, he's out of the pocket. Oh, and then he goes back into the pocket. So because he was still into the pocket, he got the intentional grounding. But to your point, could he have run? Let's watch this one more time. Jared Goff, yes, he could have. He could have run, and if he would have leaked a little bit right, he would have taken a hit. He would have taken a big hit, but he would have scored a touchdown.
Exactly. And that's what I was saying in the stands. Run. And I thought for sure he was going to do it. But that screwed my bold take right there.
Yeah, he could have ran that one. I don't know if you can hear the audio, but
no.
Here I'll play it real quick. Ready? 5 bold takes here for the Detroit Lions and the New York Giants game this Sunday at Ford Field. I'm going to start with number 1, much like Eric put out there talking about our run game. Jahmyr Gibbs, he's going to break 150 total yards, but it's not just on the ground. It's going to be all purpose. That bottom tier run defense by the Giants is going to have their hands full. I have absolutely no respect for them. I do believe that they have a good defensive front, but Jahmyr Gibbs is going to get the better of the New York Giants on Sunday. What a spot on call.
Yeah.
What a spot on call. But you know what people say about those types of things? They think that I'm bragging when I replay it. How is that bragging?
Yeah, no, we're just showing what we got right. We showed a bunch that we got wrong.
Well, here's what I do know, because I know that we're up against the clock.
Yeah.
Hey, Lions are back on the clock, y'all.
Yeah,
I got no worries right now. Lions are back on the clock. I got zero worries. By the way, pick this up at Marshall's. If you have a Marshall's near you, they have so much Lions gear and stuff like this. It's not even funny. And some of it is fake, but they got some cool stuff that I picked up. All their clothes are fake. I don't even know how they're able to sell it. If the NFL ever found out, they'd be in trouble. Anyway, I am not worried about the Lions. I think that they found another gritty, grimy way to win a football game, and that's what we expect. Look, every game is not going to be perfect. I get it. We went 15-2 last year. And the year before that, we had a really good season too. But not every season is just going to be easy. We're playing a first place schedule. We have so far played Green Bay, who's a really good team this year. Chicago, who's turned out to, I still think they're frauds, but let's just say they're okay right now. It's a pretty good team. Ravens, perennial great team. Browns, amazing defense once again this year. Put them down. Bengals, another amazing defense. Put them down. The Chiefs, good team. Not great team, but they find ways to win, and the refs allowed them to win that game. The Bucs, always a good team, always an amazing defense. The Vikings, great defense, not so much offense. Commanders, a great defense, good offense. They can win at any point in time. The Eagles, great on both sides of the football. And then the New York Giants, who have one of the craziest menacing defensive fronts if they can actually click, and they clicked last night. I'm sorry. If you're going to tell me that you're disappointed at all about the way that the Lions season is gone right now, I would say, yeah, we've left a couple of games out there. We absolutely did. But we're still good. And for those of you that are going to blame Brad Holmes for what? There is nothing that you could have done differently last night with any other edge rusher. Or if you would have pulled in another left tackle and you would have paid through the nose for it, then you screw the future, right? And they can still win football games with the team that they have. They absolutely can. Imagine this for a moment. You have a top 5 defense. They didn't play the greatest last night. But when they start to win football games and they start winning a lot in a row and the confidence starts to creep back in, and this offense and defense just clicks, that's all we need. We need this next 3 games for this offense and this defense to find themselves. They just went through the ringer. They need to pull one out on Thursday. And in that third game, they need to show that they're back. And if they can do that, they're going to be fine. And I think once they click, there's not going to be a team in this league that wants to face us. The Lions could potentially win out the rest of the year. I'm going to give them another loss at some point.
Rams.
And it's probably going to be the last loss that they take this season. I don't know. I honestly don't think that the Rams, I mean, they got a great team, but we have faced every crazy defense so far. The Rams defense is not that better than what we have faced so far this season. I'm not as concerned. I'm more concerned about their offense and our defense. And by the time we get to the Rams, our defense is going to be fully back and fully healthy. Marcus Davenport's going to be playing on Thursday, more than likely.
Terrion
Arnold's going to be back on Thursday. And as long as everybody stays healthy, we're good. I think we're fine.
Paschal might be back.
So we are deep, and we are deep with starters. We are not deep with just depth guys. We are deep with starters right now. So don't forget that. Eric, give us your final 30.
Yeah, I'd like to see Kirby back too. My final 30 is this. So I'm not going to say their name, but they put this in the chat. Goffel is the weakest link on our team. He panics, chokes, will 100% not move. We will never make it to the Super Bowl with him. You are 100% wrong, sir.
What?
I'm telling you right now, you've not been watching this podcast for more than 10 seconds. Goff is like our favorite player. Goff right now
That is the dumbest thing I've ever heard.
And 67 yards. He's 7th in the league in passing. He's 2nd in touchdowns with 23. He's got 5 interceptions. That's tied for 59th in the league. There's been 58 other quarterbacks throw more interceptions than Goff this year.
Hold on, time that out. Which means out of 32 starters in the league, 31 not named Goff, 8 other players that haven't even been a starter have thrown more interceptions than Goff this year.
Exactly.
So, yeah, come on, man. Like,
Get over
seriously.
here with that take. This is the take. This is the takes right there that I am getting so sick of on social media. And during the game, I must have got 1,000 messages because I got a lot of followers on social media, and they like to give me crap anytime the Lions do bad. And that's all I heard yesterday was, your season's over. You're not going to win another game. And we're done. I'm sick of being a Lions fan. I'm out of here. And I'm just like,
okay, but you know what? Here's what I would say. I got 3 more minutes. Here's what I would say. If you think that last night should have gone any better or any differently, and I'm not knocking you, Eric.
You can. I don't care.
No, I'm not, because you a lot of the things that you say and a lot of things that you bring up, like your bold takes and all that, those are bold takes, right? You didn't respect the Giants. You're watching the wrong people. You're listening to the wrong people. For instance, I'm sorry, I got to say it. I'm listening to 97.1 The Ticket on our way back last night. I'm exhausted. I don't listen. I don't watch any other content creators at all, period.
So bad.
I don't.
So
the
bad.
only one that I'll ever tune into every once in a while is Mike Kimber. Stoney is taking phone calls last night. And by the way, Stoney, when you take a phone call, shut the hell up. Let your people, hold on, Eric, let your people talk. Because if you don't let them talk, they can't get out what they're trying to say. And so he keeps running right over them. And then he gives these takes where it's like, dude, you're 1,000% wrong. And so if you're listening to somebody like Stoney, who clearly doesn't have a clue, start listening to different people. Because there's some people that take the time to do the research to try to give you good information. And there's a lot of people out there that don't. They are just hot-breathed, I don't know, garbage speakers, man. I don't want to say anything too negative. Can't stand it. I think it's lazy. I think it's apathetic. And I think that is 100% SOL to not be educated about a team. You're on the radio doing sports, and you can't even be educated enough to give factual data to thousands, if not millions of listeners, and you're giving them garbage. That is what's steering this narrative, Eric. That's where I was trying to go with this. That is what's steering the narrative, is all these people out there that don't know shit, that are just running their mouth, and it's getting fans thinking, oh my God, I didn't think about that. He's so right.
Well, the part that I tuned into, we only listened to 2 or 3 callers and we had to shut it off.
Yeah.
Because Stoney let these guys talk for 5 minutes at a time, and they were just spewing all these facts that were completely wrong and just complete SOL people. And we're like, is he ever going to interject? Are they even screening these calls before people call up?
Well, at least try to correct them a little bit.
Like, I can't remember the one, but like my buddy Bob sitting next to me, he's like, they didn't even screen this guy before he called. He doesn't even know. He didn't even watch the game. He's just calling up to bitch about the Lions, about stuff that he has no clue about. So that's my 30 seconds. Stop being SOL fans. Stop it. Stop it. Stop it. We are one game on Thursday away from being back in first place. So just win on Thursday. That's it. Everything else will take care of itself on Friday evening. Or Saturday morning, you're going to wake up. The Lions are going to be back in first, and all will be right with the world. The Lions will have the best odds to win the North, the best odds to make it to the playoffs, all that crap. Everything will be fine. We just got to get to Saturday.
So here's what I'll say to kind of compound on that a little bit. I am less worried about the week to week. I know that it's great to be on top and to be leading, the North and all that stuff. It feels great. It looks great. It's like having inflated stats to me. Yes, it's going to feel wonderful after we kick the shit out of the Packers on Thanksgiving and we wake up and we're right back to where we thought that we should be at this point in the season. We can't let it go. That's the thing that would make me feel better, is that the next 2, 3, 4 weeks following that game that we're still on top and that maybe we've gained something in the NFC. But week to week, it could fluctuate a little bit for me. I'm not going to panic. It just means we have to win and another team has to lose, but we just need to take care of our own destiny. I'm not worried about anybody else. We beat the Packers. We keep on winning. If we have one more loss, great. I have zero confidence that the Packers, the Vikings, or the Bears are not going to lose 2 or 3 games the rest of the season. I think that they will. We just have to win on Thursday and then lose one less game than they do, and we're fine. Detroit Lions are good. We're going to be moving on tomorrow. I'm sure we'll talk about some other things as well, but we're going to move right into the Packers tomorrow because I think this one's going to take a couple of days for us to really get through it. And Eric's only on tomorrow, and then you're gone for Thanksgiving. I'll probably be on a little bit on Wednesday, and then I might be going to the Thanksgiving Day game. Plans may have changed for me, so if that's the case, then I can be on Wednesday. Obviously, I won't be on Thursday.
So I'll get my 5 bold takes for tomorrow.
Yeah, let's do that. Let's do that. All right, y'all. You have a wonderful day. I gotta go get treatment, so y'all take care. We'll catch you guys. We'll catch you guys tomorrow. Have a good day. Lions win. Just relax. Right? Famous words ever said by Aaron Rodgers. Just relax. I got to find my transition. There we go.
Pressured by Hutchinson. He goes down.